The year was 1793. It was my birthday. I am now 10 years old, and my dad had passed last week. My mom has been stressing about money, so I went looking for a job and overheard about a cotton mill not far from my home. The next day, I went to the cotton mill and asked if I could work there. A man named Mose Brown said, "Yeah, but I need to talk to you in my office." So I went in and asked why he needed me. So he asked why a kid like me needed a job. So I told him what had happened the past week and a half. So he told me that he was very sorry and also that I could start next week. So I came in next week and Mose Brown told me that the job was hard and dangerous, so be careful. So had a kid show me around how to change spindles without getting my fingers cut off by gears, and also he told me that it was easier to do it when the cotton machines slowed down a little. Next Monday, I walked in the door and I heard people talking about a kid and something about him losing his hand to one of the machines. So I asked the kid that was showing me around, giving me tips and stuff, that what had happened. He told me that this kid was screwing around and lost his whole hand in one of the machines. So I said, "Ew," and I asked if he was okay. He told me that the kid went to the hospital and he would be just fine. So I went on with my day. First thing was changing the spindles on the first floor, then sweeping dust and little bits of garbage into a can, then my 5-minute lunch break. After that, I had to check all the gears and make sure that they were working. So that was my 13-hour work shift. So I worked 6 days a week. It had been 3 weeks of work, and I just had got my first paycheck. Mose Brown told me that it wasn't much, but it had something to do. It had something to keep food on the table. After he gave me my paycheck, I was doing my routine when I saw a kid. I saw a kid without his hand. He was changing a spindle with one hand. I walked up to him and said, "Here, let me help you." He stepped aside and I changed it. When I was turning around to ask him why he was here, he had vanished. This Friday, I was on my way to work when I saw kids leaving, so I went to Mose Brown and asked him why they were leaving. He told me that they were leaving because all they did was clean and he was cutting out people that were cleaning so that more work could be done. Over the next days, the mill had gotten really dirty, so I was getting really sick and starting to feel lightheaded each time I worked there. And one day it happened. I was working and I was passed out from working too hard. When I woke up, I was in the hospital and my mom was talking to a doctor. When she saw my eyes open, she hugged me and told me that I wasn't working there again. So I told her who was going to put the food on the table.